Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Clubhouse at the same time, just letting you guys know. And it's really a great day because I'm excited to talk about our topic today. First of all, making a potato waffle, which is really fun all on its own, right? And if you guys are just coming on live on Facebook, live on YouTube, that's how we do it. Live on Clubhouse too. And the really awesome thing about today's topic is, how can I protect you in any way possible, even if it means I get the shit beat out of me for doing it? You know, it's like, how do I protect the chronically ill, people with symptoms and conditions, people who have been through hell and back, people that have literally have to rise out of the ashes and get their lives back? How do I protect you guys while getting lashings left and right? You know, and so it's like this. Look at it this way. You know, I'm not about making friends, okay? If I'm going to make friends, then you guys are just going to get the same old runaround. You're going to get the same old runaround. That's what's going to happen. So if I worry about the apple cider vinegar dealers, okay? You know, if I worry about them and don't worry about you guys, then we're going to, you know, there you go. You guys are going to be all losing your teeth, right? If I worry about the caffeine people, if I worry about the cacao people, don't want to get anybody pissed off in the health world, don't want to get anybody upset in the health world, right? Okay? And I worry about the caffeine and the coffee people, the big coffee moguls, the coffee industry, and everybody else who's trying to make a reishi mushroom coffee or something else. If I worry about any of that, if I worry about that and I don't want to step on toes and I want to make all these friends, you guys are going to get thrown under the bus. That's the bottom line. If you guys just came on here live on Clubhouse, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, making potato waffles, which is actually one of my favorites because it's a treat for today. So how do I look out for you guys? How do I look out for you guys and keep it real like I always have? Never contradict myself like I haven't in 35 years. Like, how do I keep that record of making sure I got your back? And that's what it's about. Making sure I understand what you've been through. Making sure I know the details. The details matter. The details matter. Okay? And I've seen it in the health scene, all right? The health scene is like this empty shell out there. Okay? It's an empty shell of people right now trying to find their way, right? And sell their merch. Sell all their merch, right? Sell all their products and sell their merch, okay? But what happens is, as I'm trying to protect you guys and trying to protect the people that are sick and trying to protect the people that need it, as I'm doing that, right? What happens is I'm stepping on toes. So I'm stepping on the nutritional yeast people's toes. Look out. I'm stepping on the apple cider vinegar people's toes, right? I'm stepping on the caffeine people, the matcha tea people. Don't piss them off. Don't piss them off. You piss them off, man, they'll report you. Everybody's going to want to report you, right? How do we take him down after 35 years of making sure that more people have healed from chronic illness than ever before in history? Like, how do we do it, right? It's like, and that's the thing. I can't sit there up at night thinking about, okay, who am I going to piss off next? Who am I going to piss off next? Who's it going to be? The chocolate bar people? 90% cacao people? Who's it going to be? The ayahuasca people? Am I going to get the ayahuasca people all pissed off now? They're going to be mad now because they want to have their plant medicine microdose, and they think that, you know, like, and I'm trying to forewarn people saying that's not going to heal you. That's going to hurt you. Like, you know, so, you know, it's like, who else, right? Is it the collagen people? Because that's a whole scam all on its own. You guys it's all about brainwashing you guys. You guys need to know that. The system set up in alternative medicine to make sure they brainwash you guys with everything they got. They want the yoga mamas in the yoga studios doing all the kombucha tea, which turns your blood into acid and sets you back in your health. They want everybody jacked up on caffeine. They want pregnant women eating chocolate bars. This is how the system's built. I'm the only one that goes against all the crap And the only one that has the record of millions healing worldwide with chronic illness, which has never been seen before. And you think the media would pick up on that, but they don't want to, because what happens is this isn't the world where, when people heal, that's a good thing. It's you'll know if you've been seasoned enough. You guys will know if you've been in it enough. You'll know the system doesn't want you better. It just doesn't. And the alternative system is all about making sure everybody's hands are greased. The alternative market, the alternative world is hands are greased, man. It's all about hands are greased. And don't step on this person's toes. You give me that, I give you that. Who cares about everybody else? Who cares about everybody else on Mattress Island? Who cares about the 22-year-old on Mattress Island? Who cares about her? Who cares? Who cares if we trick her out and she's doing coffee enemas and cacao and she thinks and she's sick and can't get out of bed and she's doing nutritional yeast and doing collagen and doing apple cider vinegar and doing diatomaceous earth particles, all this bad stuff. Who cares? Doesn't matter. As long as she can pay for it. As long as she should get on there and see, oh, that podcast doctor, I'll buy his products or her products, but nobody's looking out for anybody. Anna, hey, well said. It's so true. Always a new fad, but a new fad that's not there to protect the one that's sick. Now, let me tell you just this first of all, you guys. Let me just get this straight, okay? There's the not sick, okay? There's the not so sick. Which one are you guys? There's the not sick. There's the not so sick, and there's the so sick. Okay? So sick. Which one are you guys? Which one? Or which one were you? Right? Which one were you? Okay? That's another thing too. Okay? Because the not sick, they can dabble. They can play a little bit of this, playing a little bit of that. I can drink a little wine here and there. I can do my cacao. I can do whatever. I can do this and that. Doesn't matter. I can have my eggs and eat it too. Right? I could do anything. Don't need to get rid of eggs. Hey, somebody listening right now, you guys might think eggs are perfectly fine. Like, what do you mean? I never even heard eggs are bad, but they're bad. And I've always talked about why, right? And so if you're not sick, you can play around. You got your workouts going. You can do your protein shakes. Even if there's MSG in your protein shakes, you could have your nutritional yeast. You can throw your apple cider vinegar gummies down. Even though you're going to lose your teeth down the road from it, it doesn't matter. When you're not sick, you can play around. You can afford to play around until it chips away at the stone, until it's death by 1,000 cuts, right? But then what if you're not so sick, right? So you're still kind of sick, but not so sick, little acne, got a little skin stuff going on, you get a little brain fog intermittently, you get a little energy loss, your workouts aren't as easy to do. You're not so sick, right? But you're still doing the same old stuff. You're still playing around with neem oil, you're still playing around with diatomaceous earth, still playing around with bentonite clay, gut health products, protein powders, all the bad stuff. Still playing around with alcohol in your supplements, still playing around with MSG, natural flavors in your protein powders, right? And it's not really taking you out yet. It's not. Maria says, I'm healing thanks to you. I'm honored you're here. You guys, we're live at Clubhouse, live at Facebook, live on YouTube, just so you know right now. Julia says, not so sick, but getting better thanks to you. Julia, honored you're here. So excited. Glad you guys are here. If you're not so sick, you can also afford to kind of do good things and bad things mix. You can have some vegan pizza, make sure there's vegan cheese on there. You're not so sick, so the vegan cheese isn't going to make you worse yet in the moment, but if you're really sick, the vegan cheese will kill you, right? So it's like, this is how it's done. You're not so sick, you can keep your caffeine going on. I'll still do my coffee drinks, I'll still do my cacao. You're not so sick, right? You can still do this, you can still do that, to play around. You can go up and down. You can do a little bit of medical medium stuff, the lemon water. You can do a little bit of medical medium stuff, the celery juice, right, you guys? You can do a little bit of medical medium stuff, heavy metal detox smoothie, and you can do it. And you can do pieces of this that fragmented into the other health communities, pieces of it. Or you can do some supplements that are in the health communities now because of medical medium. 30 years of medical medium pushing out the cat's claw, pushing out the right kind of zinc, pushing out all this stuff, the vitamin C. Dr. Fon MD, death by 1,000 cuts, and then they blame medical medium, not the cuts. Exactly. Exactly. It happens all the time. You're not so sick. You can play with that knife. You can play with that knife. Here, a little cut here, no big deal. I can spare that. I'm not that sick. Another little cut here, I can spare that. I'm not that sick, right? And then, hey, Lorraine L, good to see you. Good to see you. Just saw you shoot up there. The comment. It says your material saved me from a serious operation. Ed Mace, incredible, really is. It is. And so yeah, it's. Melissa said, "What's wrong with neem oil?" It's one of those trends where no one knows why anybody's sick. Nobody knows why anybody's sick. Okay, that's how it works. You think they do, but they don't, unless they took medical meme information. Now, if that's really tough to digest, just know it's a fact. Medical meme information derives from the publications of medical meme, the information that gets out there and sifts out there, right? 30 years of lecturing and teaching doctors, so many pieces of it. The health field was really small back in the day, and I taught in it and taught in it and taught in it. And the most powerful people in the world coming to me for help after seeing 50 of the most best doctors in the world, right? And I've seen it all out there, And what happens is there's a lot of trendy items out there that are out there. But the people who put them out there don't know why anybody's sick. They don't know what causes your eczema and psoriasis, but neem oil will fix you. Don't know what causes your vitiligo, right? Collagen will fix it though. It will? Really? Because it doesn't. Don't know what causes your lupus, right? Diatomaceous earth particles will fix it. It will, because it doesn't. Makes you sicker. Okay, so this is just little examples, right? I got the waffle maker on, you guys. I'm making waffles, potato waffles. Got that heating up. I'm gonna peel the skin. These are steamed potatoes right here. You guys see? And I'm gonna peel the skins back a little bit. Guys, I brought the lights down a little bit. Does it help on YouTube? Because everybody was complaining it was totally bright. Courtney M.A., good to see you. I wish I could show you a picture of my fridge right now, filled with everything you show us. That is incredible. That's absolutely incredible. And with the comments, you guys, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Clubhouse right now. So glad we're all together. Andrea, healing every day. Thank you so much, Anthony, in spirit of compassion for the life-changing information. Amazing. Amazing. I'm peeling back some of these skins on these steamed potatoes because I'm going to make these potato waffles. Gabrielle, healing because of you. Incredible. Lynn, I quit eggs. Solved my plantar's issue in 10 days. I'll tell you why. Plantar warts are a virus. Viruses eat the undeveloped protein in eggs, right? So viruses eat, see these eggs right here? The undeveloped protein in eggs. They were trained. You think the plantar's wart virus just appeared? Where did it come from? Where did it come from? The earth? Someone was walking barefoot 80 years ago, 100 years ago. They were walking barefoot, 70 years ago, and all of a sudden they picked up the Plantar's wart virus. Plantar's warts, that's a virus that was released into our environment, that was raised in labs. A lot of our miseries, most of our miseries, are man-made. And that because there's a sinister plan with all that. I'm peeling some of these skins back right here. Kelly Waring, I was fooled into using all that crap. ACV, kombucha, diatomaceous earth, CACP, protein powder, yep. All kinds of supplements that never did jack for my health. Jack, that's the word I use. Cacao? Yeah, cacao. And yeah, I totally understand. And it never does. But can I tell you one thing though? Can I tell you something, guys? Just so you know. There's a lot of fancy doctors that don't practice medicine. They don't work like Dr. Fon does every single day. Dr. Fon MD. They don't work like a lot of incredible doctors do every single day. They say they're doctors, but they sit there selling merch on the internet. They love to sell their products. They don't know why anybody's sick. And then what do? They try to rip down medical medium, where literally it's the land of so many people getting the freedom of their life back and get from debilitating diseases. But what happens is, and the life-changing books, right? It's like, look, are we in it to help people? Are we in it to try to hop on other people's platforms and destroy them in any way they can, right? So people love to do. Are we in it to help people? Or are we playing tit for tat, It's jealousy games, right? And what happens is that I'm in it to make sure we got people who are chronically sick, we got their back, because no one knows what it's like to be in their shoes unless they've been there. Unless they've been there, good too. I'm not just talking about a little bit. Unless they've been there, right? That's a whole nother thing. Amy Batchelor, good friend of mine, 7 years on medical medium, healed on so many levels, wisdom to handle anything that crosses our path. Amy Batchelor, I got to touch base with you sometime, see how you're doing. I mean, Amy's a good friend of mine. She's an amazing soul, amazing person. I'm glad you guys are coming on. Tara Appleman, good to see you. Incredible. Glad you're here today. Amazing. So you guys, let's talk about a little bit. I'm just peeling some skins off these steamed potatoes. I didn't do it earlier. I'm doing it now. Just to let you know, so there's no confusion, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on Clubhouse, which is awesome. So we're live on 3 platforms right now, and I'm excited. Trisha Marie, good to see you. Truly. So my waffle maker says, I'm ready. I got some skins off these potatoes. I think that was good enough. Got most of them off. You can leave them on and still mash up your waffles. I mean, you could if you really wanted to. But I'm going to mash these babies up as we're talking about some great stuff. So I always say, if you want to get better, you have to know a couple of things. This is so important. Okay? If you want to get better, first of all, you have to know why you're sick. Like really why you're sick. Not because someone told you your head was chopped off in 1734 in England in one of your past lives. Because that's not why you're sick right now. Okay? Let's do another one. It's important to know why you're sick. Instead, M Sky, good to see you. M Sky. You caught this live. I think sometimes you send comments like, I missed them live. M Sky. Or, sometimes people are told they just manifested it. Okay? They created it. Did you guys create your sickness? I want to know. Did you guys create it? On Clubhouse, did you guys create your sickness? Did you manifest it? Did you think some bad thoughts and that's how you got sick? Are you a bad person? Are you faulty? Because that's another thing all on its own. People are told that they have a fear of healing, right? Do you guys have a fear of healing? I want to know. Because that's what people are told. They're saying, well, you got a fear of healing, or you attracted your sickness. Right? And still mashing it. You attracted your sickness. You created it. Karma? Is karma got you? Is that why you're sick? You guys, I want to know. Who believes it's karma? Must be karma, right? Paying your dues? Is that what it is? Well, is that how it works? Do you think a 2-year-old manifested it? I want to know. See? Isn't that incredible? I noticed that the spiritual healing movement, which back before medical medium really got out there, I mean, it's been 35 years now with medical medium, right? But right at the start, though, it wasn't the millions right now that are learning about medical medium info, right? It was obviously a smaller crowd back 35 years ago, right? Of course. But what happened is that back then, everybody was still doing the spiritual stuff, that same thing, but people were still sick. And they were just like, well, I guess I attracted. I guess it was my karma or something, right? But, it all falls apart when you think about, well, did the 2-year-old manifest it? Because I'm kind of curious. What happened there? What about the 5-year-old? Did the 5-year-old have some bad karma? No, right? No. There's reasons why we're sick. And the thing is with the trendy traps out there, you guys, and the trendy products and the trendy traps, right? Okay, out there. The people putting that stuff out there, they don't know why anybody's sick. They don't know why. It all comes down to the same old kind of like theories. Well, was it gut issues? Was it candida? What is it? Like, why are people sick? Do they manifest it? I'm not saying to not think positive. Absolutely think positive. I want you guys to have your dreams, your aspirations, your affirmations, your mantras. You wake up in the morning. I got mantras and affirmations. I wake up in the morning. I'm going to fight for the chronically ill. That's what I say. First thing in the morning, right? I wake up in the morning. I'm going to fight for the chronically ill. That's what I say. Just like that. Yeah, that's one of my mantras, right? April, you're the only one who's told me why I have eczema. It's life-changing information. Millions of people have eczema, right? And they don't know why. And there's people with eczema that don't trust. They don't trust that maybe medical meme information is good because some troll got to them, right? One of those trolls that said, I tried it, it didn't work, but they never tried it. Right? Or some troll comes on and hammers them, and says, no, don't do the medical medium stuff. He talks to a ghost or something, right? And you get this, and these are discriminators, right? These are spiritual racists, And the funny thing is everybody's supposed to be so spiritual, like so spiritual right now. Everybody is just so on their game with being spiritual. That's what you see out there now, right? But quick to discriminate against something that's been working for decades now, getting people's lives back and healing, right? And they'll be like, no, that guy, he hears a voice. No way, that's BS. It's like, oh, I thought you were spiritual. I thought you can handle that. I thought you can handle that. You know what I mean? You're at your yoga class or you're doing whatever. You can handle that. You're spiritual, right? But it's amazing how that works. But there's a lot of discrimination and it sets people back because now someone's going to be afraid to heal their eczema. Meanwhile, there's tens of thousands of people that got rid of their eczema and psoriasis. Like, how important is that to get rid of your eczema, your psoriasis? It's one of the greatest, precious things that could ever happen to someone, unless you know what it's like to have that bleeding, cracked skin, man, and be suffering like you are. Unless you know what that's like, right? Unless you've been in that person's shoes, you won't know. You won't know. You won't know. And when you get there someday, yeah, you'll learn fast that guess what? No one knows what causes eczema psoriasis except medical medium information. And then when I hear from somebody and someone says, hey, AW, I just saw someone say how copper is behind eczema, but they didn't cite you. That's another problem all on its own. Not citing medical medium information. So now there's a tidbit of medical medium information that gets out there, right? Just like the lemon water flushing the liver, medical medium information, right? But now it's like common law out there. They even pretend there's science behind it. Well, that's funny because it comes from medical medium, which comes from above, which comes from spirit of compassion, right? It's like okay, now this gets copper out of your system for eczema. Well, copper, there's no science research that says copper causes eczema psoriasis. That's medical medium information, right? And it doesn't get cited. And the sad part about it not getting cited is how's that person going to heal now? They're just going to take somebody's gut health product or something or they're going to take somebody else's whatever, or they're going to take something that doesn't work like zeolite. And they're going to just, and meanwhile they have a tidbit, but the details matter. As Michelle L says, and I see her comment in YouTube a lot, she says, details matter, right? And that's what it is. It's about the details mattering. Is it mattering? Yeah, I'll say it's mattering. And the whole thing, it's important. So you guys, I'm going to put this, I think these are pretty mashed up pretty good actually. There we go. We'll mash them up a little bit more. So you guys, we're live on Clubhouse, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Margaret Valentine, good to see you. I read a comment that someone shamed you at a retreat for being concerned about fat. And I think someone was putting all this fat on top of potatoes or something. Or they told you it was okay at the retreat. That's what they told you. And then they said, why did you do that? And they shamed you. Or they shamed you the other way around. I can't remember. But I read that story, and that story hit me. And the story hit me because it was like, yeah, exactly. It's not easy out there in the health field the way it works. You guys, I'm putting my potato on here. I had a weak spoon, and it just actually did a little snap. Lorraine, what do you think about that one? But I'll tell you right now, I'm going to get another spoon in a second. It's really incredible how things work out there. I've seen a lot of that in retreats too. I've seen a lot of shaming go on in retreats. I'm not saying retreats are bad. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying validate someone's experience out there. Validate their stories, right? And that leads me to the next part, right? Is here you are, you heal, you work your butt off. You're doing some medical medium information, okay? You're working hard. You share your story and someone comes on there and says, it didn't happen. It didn't happen, right? Or it's anecdotal. Or it was a sugar pill, right? It was a sugar pill. So I'm actually got my potatoes in here, you guys. I'm going to replace my wooden spoon. That was one of my favorites. Here's a nice big wooden spoon here. So, and that's another thing too, is you're not allowed to heal. Lorraine, totally your humor. Most people who say they did MM too never read one of the books, right? They'll say, you know, they never mind all 7 of the books. They've only read never even read one. I've seen that before too. And the in-depth healing information in the books is a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother. But what you'll find is people who heal and they work hard and they get rid of their lupus, their Lyme disease with medical medium information. They get rid of their CFS. Right on Clubhouse, you guys? Any of you guys got CFS? CFS-ME, right? The brain inflammation, fibromyalgia, how about that one too? All kinds of gum and teeth problems that happen to so many people. Another thing, trigeminal neuralgia, nerve pain, back pain, neck pain, head pain, right, you guys? And all of that. And I'm cooking these up nice. Let's see if I know how to use this today. The waffle machine. All right, so that's cooking. Got the potato waffles brewing. So there's so many people out there that healed with medical medium information, but what I'm noticing out there is that there's a cult out there, and this cult is probably one of the more evil cults, and it's a science and research cult. The science and research cult is devised of a bunch of people who haven't been sick yet, and they're there to tell you you didn't heal because science didn't approve of it, right? This is the Jim Jones cult of all time, is science and research, right? You know, like the Jim Jones cult, right, was everybody took the Kool-Aid, took the cyanide, and they died, right? They killed themselves. And it was just a horrifying nightmare, okay? Got 1,000 people, they all drink Kool-Aid with cyanide, and they go down. Science research is just like that, but they're the longer version. They're the micro dose. You're drinking the science and research Kool-Aid, right? Right? And there's a little bit of cyanide in there. But you just don't die fast. You just stay sick and sick while science and research strings you out, and then just they chip away at your soul. That's what science and research says, just chips away at your soul with all their paid for fake studies. And they chip away, and then while you're waiting on your last breath, they finally come out with a new report. That matcha tea has a new antioxidant in it, and you just lost 30 years of your life hanging on by a thread, hoping to God science and research would actually save you, and they don't. They don't. They're the ultimate cult, literally the ultimate cult right now. You can't break them. They're just like robots in their cult. Where's your science? Where's your science? Well, that's funny because where's your science? So where's your science? Where's your research? That's funny because where's your science and research, right? Where's yours? Because what I'm noticing now is that people who are saying that in the cult, so all the cult people in there, right, in science and research, here's what they're doing. They're throwing you a link to a citation, right? They're throwing you like a citation to a paper, not even a study. So you got all these papers out there. They're just observational papers. There's no conclusion. There's no facts in them. There's nothing. So the science and research cult is so twisted and evil, they don't even give you a study. You don't even get a study anymore. There's no studies in there. It's an article. So let's just link an article that was hearsay, and we'll link that, and we'll throw that in somebody's face and say, well, here's some science. The science and research cult is actually got to such a dangerous point, right? Where, and they don't care if anybody heals. They don't want anybody to heal. It has to be under science's jurisdiction, right? So you guys don't deserve to heal. You don't. You don't deserve to heal unless science says so. Unless science says, right? And science in the end is a whole bunch of paid for theories anyway when it comes down to chronic illness. Science isn't math, you guys. This is so important to know. Like, science isn't math. 2 plus 2 is 4. Science research is 2 plus 2 is 5. That's what it is in science research. It's not math there. So when your accountant or somebody, you're adding up some numbers. If you guys are budgeting yourselves out for the week, right? If you're budgeting yourselves out for the week, you're trying to figure out what and how did I pay for groceries this week and what do I need to, how do I pay the light bill? Keep that on. Oh, light bill is $37.42. Let me pay the light bill, right? Science and research is not that. It's a theory compounded by money-hungry beasts behind there that make scientists do what they tell them, or your ass is on. You just lost your job, right? You lost your job, and that's what happens. And you better produce an outcome. You scientists better produce an outcome, or your ass is grass. You're not going to be feeding your families. You're not going to be recommended for the next scientific study as a scientist. You're done. So you better give us something. You better give us something for the $2 million we just put in. You better give us something for the $10 million you've been putting in. And so all of this is important, you know. So the comment, MV Von Doom says, why is it taking so long for my symptoms to clear? Sign. And why is it taking so long? Let's just check this waffle for a second too, you guys. I want to make sure I'm not burning it. So there's a lot of factors to understand. Guys, I just got to pick this up. You guys hanging in there on Clubhouse? I got to pick up the phone for a minute. That's on YouTube. Hello? Yeah, I'm a fly. Uh-huh. Yeah. Make a noise? Why do you want me to do that every time? It's annoying. All right. Bzzz, bzzz. It's what? It's annoying? Yeah, I told you it's annoying. Why are you making me do it? Yeah, I'm on the wall right now. Okay. What is that person doing? I've been keeping an eye on that person. Uh-huh. Yeah. They've been to the doc. They went to the doctor and they had their blood drawn. Uh-huh. I saw it. They had 7 full vials drawn. Yeah. Removed part of their immune system. Uh-huh. What else did they do? Well, let me see. I'm a fly on the wall. Let me see. I see a receipt for a new medical treatment. Uh-huh. Yeah, I see a receipt for a new medical treatment. Uh-huh. Yeah, the newest one. Uh-huh. Yep. No, I know. All right, what? Yeah, I'm flying the wall. Uh-huh. Yeah, no. What? I saw a piece of chocolate. Yeah, I saw a piece of chocolate. Kind of looks like this. Uh-huh. Kind of looks like this. Yeah. And no, it's cacao. It's clean chocolate, though. It's good chocolate. It's clean chocolate. Uh-huh. Okay. I'm a fly on the wall, but I got a waffle to make, so you got to make this fast. Yeah. Okay. No, I saw some caffeine, some other types of caffeine. Yeah. I'm a fly on the wall, and I saw, oh, what's that? Too many fats. I know. Well, there's too much fat. There's olive oil, and I saw a little bit of vegan cheese. Yep. And I saw, and what supplements? I think those supplements don't have good stuff in there. It might have a little alcohol in there. Yeah. And what about, yeah, there's some vinegar in that dish. I saw some vinegar in that dish. No, too much fats for the week. Yeah, way too many fats for the week. Yep. Okay, well, I gotta go. I gotta keep buzzing around. Gotta keep buzzing around. So, and, okay. But wait. I see something else. That person's under some stress. Yeah, they are. A relationship. Something went wrong in a relationship a while back. I heard them talking to their friend about it. Yeah, I know that's a big trigger. Okay, I gotta go. What happens is a lot of times people don't heal fast enough because they got a lot of obstacles. They'll take on a new medical treatment. Maybe they had some antibiotics a while back. Maybe they're under some stress and duress. Maybe they're doing some things like too much fat in their foods. Like they got too much avocado, but yet in order to heal, if they're really sick, they need more stuff going on. Are they doing the right supplements, the right kinds of supplements? Are they doing all of the right brands and things that are really helpful, you know? Are they doing brands that aren't helpful? Are they doing things with alcohol in them and acacia gum and citric acid and MSG and natural flavors? Are they doing collagen? Are they doing fish oil? All these things are rough on their system. Are they doing caffeine? What are they doing, you guys? Are they doing chlorella? Are they doing like the neem oil, diatomaceous earth particles, bentonite clay, gut health products? Like gut health powders, which are really aggressive and abrasive. What did they do in the past? Did they do coffee enemas in the past? How about that? Did they do something else that wasn't good? Something with natural flavors, natural flavoring, berry flavor, which isn't berry, you guys on Clubhouse. I'm letting you know it's not berry. Berry flavor is MSG. Strawberry flavor, berry flavor in something, you know, flavoring, right? That's MSG, you guys, right? On YouTube. Are they doing MSG, nutritional yeast with MSG and the bad B12 in it? That's what they put in the nutritional yeast, right? Like, you seem fine to me, Chris. Good to see you. Yeah, setbacks stink, right? Good to see you today. Ashley Gibbon, good to see you. So what else is happening? Lunel, what else is happening? So many things have natural flavors. And how much blood was drawn? It could have been 6 months ago and you suffer 6 months later, you guys. You know? Elizabeth, good to see you. Natural flavors. It could be 6 months ago. 6 months ago, okay? And still cooking this up a little more. It could have been 6 months ago. You had 14 vials and you pay the price 6 months later. It takes 3 to 6 months just to get your immune system back to square one after having 70 milliliters of blood drawn, 80 milliliters of blood drawn. It takes that long to get you guys back. So what else is happening? You know, the setbacks. How do we move forward? And what about the perfumes and colognes, right? What about those? What about that, you guys on YouTube, right? You guys on Facebook, you guys on Clubhouse. What about the perfumes? You doing perfumes? Because you knock your immune system right down. It's like this. It's like you got kicked out of a boat, right? You're wearing your clothes and it's saturated with water. The water is soaking up. You're out there in the ocean and you're starting to drag downward, right? Someone throws you the crappiest life preserver. You grab onto it. It's just keeping you up enough, but yet not pulling you out of the water. But yet you're going down and you're choking on the water. You're coming back up. It's almost pulling you out, but you're going back down, right? Because you're doing the colognes and perfumes. You're doing the scented candles and the air fresheners. You're doing the hairsprays and the aftershaves. You're smelling someone else's aftershave, right? This stuff knocks us down. You're doing your deodorants. You're doing your hair products. You're doing makeups that have all kinds of stuff in it that's not good in there, right? I'm not trying to say you got to live in fear, but there's things to do when you're too sick sometimes. But remember when I told you, if you're not so sick, you guys, if you're not so sick, or if you're not sick, there's a difference than when you're sick. Then we gotta figure out then what pathogens is happening, what bugs are going on, right? What bugs are happening? What strains of bugs? What streptococcus in your system? What staph? What C. diffs in your system? What H. pylori's in there? What different types of strep? How many varieties? What Epstein Barr? Right? Courtney says sick. Right? What do you have going on? The shingles variety, the cytomegalovirus, an aggressive EBV causing Hashimoto's, fibromyalgia, lupus, right? Your Lyme disease, because EBV causes your Lyme disease, right? You guys on Clubhouse, you guys know that by now if you know medical meme information, right? That's teaching people out there in the world. Or do you have 2 or 3 Epstein bars? People have 2 or 3 or 4 of them. Some people have 6 of them, 7 of them. Yeah. So you can have all this going on. Lissy Cohn, good to see you today. You have all this going on. Okay? And new relationships. We pick up bugs all the time. That's life. You want to live your life on planet Earth. Someone else is going to have a streptococcus because they have UTIs or they got chronic sinusitis, and they're going to have a antibiotic resistant streptococcus because their strep was always fed their antibiotics. Like, you're back at the doctor's office. Yep, you got another sinusitis, chronic sinusitis. Let's give you another antibiotic. And meanwhile, your streptococcus is getting stronger. Then we get into a relationship and we pass that streptococcus to someone else. Now they have this antibiotic resistant streptococcus and they're getting UTIs. So it's like we're in this place. Psyllium's horrible, by the way. Matt's, is psyllium husk? Psyllium husk is terrible. It's very irritating. Very irritating. It really is. I think these are done now. Very irritating. Got to look out for that. But we're up against so much. And in order to heal, I said it before, and I'll say it again. You got to know what's wrong with you, and then you got to know about the pitfalls. And with me, I can teach you about the pitfalls. I could get my butt beat in by all the angry people trying to protect their livelihoods. Think about that, right? Think about that, okay? You're an ACV dealer now, right? You're nutritional yeast dealer now, right? Whatever it is, you're a cacao dealer now, right? You seem fine to me, Chris. Oh, good to know about the husk. You're trying to make a living on social media, right? You're a practitioner out there and you're trying to sell all your stuff. And you get wind the medical medium is talking smack about your products that are keeping you going, and you're selling to all your people that come to you. You're going to want to jump on that guy. You're going to want to jump on him. You're going to want... You don't care about the sick people. You don't care about learning about it. You don't care about people who are sick. You don't care about the chronically ill. You just want to jump on his ass and you want to take him down. Well, that's what I've been up against for 35 years. You want to take him out. That's what you want to do. Because how dare you be talking about that cacao powder? How dare you be talking about that reishi mushroom powder with the coffee in there, right? The reishi coffee. How dare you going to talk about that coffee bad? How dare you going to talk about all that other stuff bad? We need to take him out. Let's report him. Let's make sure we do another story and a post. Let's come up with all kinds of stuff. He's charlatan. Whatever. Right? You take him out. That's what you try to do. But here's how I work. You know? You do that and it wakes me up. Because I can go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. Ain't nothing happening out there. You know, I could go to sleep now. Everybody's healing. They got the books. They're gonna have their lives saved. What? What? You just woke me up. What? Someone did a bad post? Wait, someone did another fake story about me? Oh wait, what? And I just do a little stretch and I get up and I said, okay, all right, you want to play that way, okay? Because I'm gonna make sure the world knows how to heal. And we're not going to take any crap. And that's just the bottom line. It's like, you know, a friend of mine says, don't wake him up. The guy's already worked for 35 years. He's worked his butt off. A large part of the alternative medicine foundation's built off of his back. And he did it without wanting to take the credit because he lives a spiritual life. He listens to a spiritual source. And it's like, don't wake him up though, right? And that's what they continue to do. So they get mad because they're selling their stuff, and they're like, well, he's trying to protect pregnant women. He's trying to protect pregnant women and not let them eat cacao, right? While they're pregnant. But that's making us look bad because we tell pregnant women they can have all the chocolate they want and they can get their baby all high, right? So, isn't that a beautiful waffle right there? You guys on Clubhouse, I wish you could see this. I wish you could see this waffle. So one thing about the Clubhouse app, it's probably not fun. You don't see anything. But I got an incredible waffle in front of me. You guys at Clubhouse, you should eventually watch the replay of YouTube. You know, but yeah. And then it's the psychedelic, the psychedelic stuff out there too. People don't realize that caffeine is a psychoactive drug, right? So here you are, you're pregnant, and you get told caffeine is fine, right? Because pregnant women now are told you can have a little bit of chocolate, just moderation. I mean, do we need to call a baby? Like, do we need to call a baby? Like, let's call a baby now. In the womb. Let's call a baby in the womb, okay? Oh, hold on. It's raining. Hello, little baby? Hey, little baby. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, you hear me? Okay. Uh-huh. Mommy's being told, by her practitioner, and by all those trendsetters and influencers. Mommy's being told that a little bit of cacao in her smoothie is okay. They say it's just in moderation. Are you okay with that? No? Why? What's going on? You know when mommy's high? Really? Why? How do you know? Because you get high? Oh my God. Okay, I think that says a lot right there. So what happens, when the chocolate wears off, you go into the tremors and shakes? Mommy just thinks you're kicking because you're happy? It's not mommy's fault, and we know that. No, we know it's not mommy's fault. It has nothing to do with that. We just know what mommy's being taught every day in the alternative arts health community. I know. Okay, I'm going to let you go back to sleep, okay? Don't worry. Okay, bye. Yeah, so medical medium information is about making sure that you have every chance and freedom and choice to make, but real information, like real. Yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly information. Yeah, I get the cacao people upset, the coffee people upset, the matcha tea people upset, the apple cider vinegar people upset, the diatomaceous people upset, the egg people upset. Man, the egg people, yeah, get them upset. That's not good, right? And these are just a few people, right? But it's either that or I just give in, contradict the hell out of myself, give up, and not care if you guys heal or not. The problem is, I know why you're sick. They don't. They don't know why you're sick. They can play in any realm they want and try to bank on anything they want and bank and bank. They can do all their subscription charges on all their websites. They can do whatever they can make. You have to pay $400 to sign into something, right? Okay? And the science websites, because you're desperate to heal and you pay $400 and $200 and $700. You sign up to the website so you can surf through their papers of junk, right? And not get answers. And then in the end, they got a little product area. Hey, maybe I'll buy this like special cider vinegar. Maybe I'll buy this other fish oil they have with their BS claims and stuff. And nobody's looking out for the mommies, the babies. No one's looking out for the people who are sick. Nobody's looking out. They don't even know why you're sick. It's unbelievable when you think about it. Debbie Lovestone, why is coffee, enema, and diatomaceous earth not good? How do these two things cause harm to the body? Okay, first of all, coffee enema. Let's just cover that real quick while we're right here anyway, right? Your stomach is there to buffer a poison. Caffeine is a psychoactive drug that we're not supposed to consume. It ages women quickly. It beats their adrenal glands down, gives them difficult pregnancies and births, for baby births, and it causes all kinds of problems. Wrinkles in the skin, sunspots, malaise, all that on the skin, and hair loss for women, right? Because women aren't technically supposed to lose their hair. They're not supposed to. Okay, it's not like men, right? Women are not supposed to lose their hair, but they lose it because of caffeine. That's one reason why they lose it. Their adrenals get beaten down by other things, but caffeine's really a poison, right? And then it keeps them high and addicted, and they spend a whole life addicted, and that's how the caffeine industry wants them. They want them addicted, but what goes wrong with when it's a coffee enema is nothing's buffering that poison from getting to your liver and brain. When you put that coffee up the back end, nothing buffers it for your brain and heart. It goes into shock, including your liver. It goes into shock. When you drink it, the lining of your mouth, your esophagus, okay, your stomach, and your duodenum are pretty darn strong for a reason. They're there to buffer a poison because here's the deal. You guys want to hear something cool? Okay? Back thousands of years ago, and not even that far, right? We survived by saying, I'm hungry. I see a plant on the ground with a weird berry. I'm going to risk my life and bite that berry. And everybody standing around me is going to say, you're either going to live or die. And if you live, we might be able to eat that food. Did you know that? Human beings have thousands of years of that. Right? Trial by error, making mistakes in the food you pick. You eat that berry, and if that berry's poisonous, you die right in front of your family and everybody else. Right? Or you get poisoned sick. Right? That's how it works. But your stomach is the buffer. The buffer. Your stomach is engineered naturally, not synthetically, not GMO engineered. It's engineered in a way, created in a way to buffer what poison can possibly enter it, right? So I'm going to eat that root because I'm starving to death. Whatever climate or area I am on the planet, I'm starving my butt off. It's make or break, do or die. I better just eat those shoots I just found that popped up in the springtime, because if I don't eat those shoots, I'm in trouble. You pluck those shoots out and you risk your life on them. That's how it's done back then, right? I'm going to eat that mushroom. It looks good. It's sitting there. I don't know if it's a poisonous mushroom or not, but I'm going to eat it. And that's how it was done all these years. Nobody knew different. They didn't know if this was poisonous or not. They didn't know you could eat this or not eat that. They didn't know. But your stomach buffered the poison. It gave you a chance to not die fast, right? Caffeine's a poison, and the stomach is built to buffer it to a degree so it can't hit the brain fast enough. It can't hit the brain. It can't hit the heart fast enough. You don't get the brain and heart rush fast because those are the two organs that your stomach is trying to protect you from. I mean, to protect poisons from getting to, right? And so what happens is that you put a poison up your back end. You put poison into your rectum. You get poison into your colon from behind, right? There's no buffer. It's not built like that. No buffer at all. At all. It goes directly into the bloodstream in an instant. There's nothing to buffer that caffeine. Anybody who's, okay, and here's the other thing. Why are you doing a coffee enema? Doing a coffee enema because you're sick. You think anybody's going to just do a coffee enema when they're feeling fine and life's great and they're playing tennis and drinking their margaritas and drinking their glasses of champagne, life is good, and they can do what they want, go where they want, exercise when they want, sleep when they want, do anything they want, right? You think they're going to go rush out and get a coffee enema? No. We do it because we're sick and we're looking for answers, and now we're on the road looking for coffee enemas now. But what goes wrong is that when you do the coffee enema, you kill your adrenals. The adrenals get a direct attack of caffeine, and it causes them to blow out. And if your nervous system is weak, tingles and numbness, maybe you have aches and pains. What do you got? Neck pain, back pain, head pain. What do you got? What do you guys got? You got tingles and numbness, ringing in the ears? What do you got? Anxiety, tightness in the chest, tightness in the throat? What do you have? What do you have? Jaw pain, teeth pain? What do you guys got? Right? You know, Ethel says, I really like this guy. Hey, I'm honored. I'm so glad you're here. You seem fine to me, says, Chris, no one puts it this way, right? What do you got wrong with you? Depression, anxiety, depersonalization, bipolar? What are you dealing with? Fatigue, blurry vision, floaters in the eyes, flashing lights in your eyes and head? What are you dealing with? Insomnia, back pain, feet pain, plantar fasciitis? What are you dealing with? Well, guess what? Those are all nervous system stuff. All nervous system. You put coffee in you, that's caffeine, that jacks up your adrenals. Both caffeine and your adrenaline destroy your nervous system. So let's just put coffee up the back end because nobody knows why anybody's sick anyway. Think about that. Every single clinic or anywhere or anybody who had the idea of putting coffee up somebody's behind didn't even know why you were even in there to begin with, sick with your neurological symptoms. How stupid can you get? Not the people getting the coffee enema, the people out there delving it out, like without even a fraction of understanding, right? But the answers are here. They exist. There's thousands of doctors around the world using medical medium books and learning this so they don't put their patients through it, right? But the more and more people that get healed, the more and more censored I get, the more and more people that heal, the more and more the world says, whoa, that's just too many now. How can this guy's information be healing that many people? Because it's uncool. We have to shut this down. We have to calm it down, you know? And I was given this gift for you. I'm not a smart guy. And I told you guys over and over again. Monica says plantar fasciitis caused by coffee? No, not at all. But it was a really good question. That's caused by Epstein-Barr. Plantar fasciitis is caused by Epstein-Barr. It's a nerve inflammation caused by low-grade viral infections. Coffee just keeps it around and makes it worse and agitates it. That's what it does. And coffee weakens the central nervous system. And plantar fasciitis is your nervous system, your tibial nerve. Just gets inflamed, right? Digital nerve just gets inflamed. All of that. It could be coffee, matcha tea, chocolate, the whole bit. Listen to the podcast at Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts, you guys, right? And then there's the whole ruse with supplementation out there. The garbage supplements, the stuff with alcohol people took for years, the stuff with natural flavors and all those things. And that's why I offer that directory, you guys, on medicalmedium.com, you know? And because it's important to know the best brands, because guess what? That's make or break in healing. I've seen a bad B12 not move the needle and a good B12 move the needle. And that's the difference. The B12 you guys know that I use is the Vimergy. And that's the one right there. The Vimergy, V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY. It's the methylcobalamin with the dinosylcobalamin, right? It's the Vimergy.com stuff. I'm not sponsored, but when the stuff is right, it's right. And it moves the needle from what I've seen from my friends and family, the whole bit. You do what your doctor tells you to do. I'm just telling you what I've seen, move the needle, no natural flavors, right? The whole bit. So important to know. And no citric acid and all that other stuff. You guys just made waffles. Got them right here. I'm going to get these eggs off the table here. These little eggs off here. You can get the books free at the library. That's the other thing. And one last thing is medical medium information is all free. It's all free, you guys. On Clubhouse, all free, you guys. On Facebook, YouTube. That's the whole point. Get it free at the library if you don't want to buy it on sale at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. You can access all of medical medium information for free. The Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcast. There's no subscriptions. There's no anything. I don't have that. You guys notice on YouTube I don't have any ads or advertisers? Have you guys noticed that yet? No advertisers, no ads. You know? And Yeah, right? And no ads and advertisers on my podcast. My podcast is the #1 podcast out there in health. So you guys, and I'm the only one doing that on that level. So anyway, you guys, look, I'm heading off to Instagram, Medical Medium Instagram page, right? And I'm going to turn Clubhouse back on. So you guys on Clubhouse, I know you guys are probably doing stuff, living your life. But if you want to listen, we're going to do an Instagram and Clubhouse. That's where we're going next. I got this maple syrup. I'm going to pop it on here before we roll. So here's a nice maple syrup right here. I'm going to put a little bit on. I like putting a little bit more on. Here's where you go wrong, right? You go wrong when you add butter to your waffles. That's when you go wrong. This is where you go wrong right here. You see this baked potato I'm holding in front of me? I wish you guys could see this on Clubhouse. I'm holding a baked potato in front of me. And I got some melted cheese on top. That's where you go wrong. You're adding the fat to the carb, right? To the glucose. You're putting fat and glucose together. That's where you go wrong. And it's amazing about the potato waffle right here. I put the maple syrup on and I got nothing to worry about. Because there's no butter, there's no oils, there's no avocado in here for the moment. I'm not saying you can't have some of that in your life if you want to. I'm just saying if you want to heal, here's an incredible healing dish. Heading off to IG, and I'm going to be live on Clubhouse at the same time. I'm going to be on there in a few minutes. You guys look out on Clubhouse, look out on Instagram, and you guys come over with me if you want to come over with me. And I love you guys.